Coherent director here in San Francisco, Coherent Lab. And so she does a lot of the work with the local people here. And her heritage background is Ohlone Indian. And even though a lot of people mistaken her from India, she is a Native American heritage. And so Alma, this is Mr. Sunil, who I told you about.
Lovely to meet you all. In this beautiful collaboration.
And Ubika is the one hosting us.
Hi.
And
thank you for hosting.
I'm trying to see how I can see everybody more closely.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, there's AJ. I can see.
AJ, blessings.
Okay. All right. So you let us know when you would like us to start, Mr. Sunil.
Good morning, good evening. Good evening for you. We can start with defining what we mean by human coherence. I think there might be some doubt about that. What exactly it means?
Okay.
Human coherence.
First of all, can I ask, did everybody get to read the brief that I share from our two meetings together?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it would help me clarify what it is that they understand or don't understand about human coherence.
Yes.
So if anybody, and we can also use the chat room as well, if you want to just, because I want to spend this time not regurgitating what I've already shared, but to spend this time to understand what are your needs. Like, I can take you through a slide presentation, but I feel that's always one directional, you know? And
yes.
And I prefer, at the basic of human coherence is a relationship, right? So I don't want this to be a bunch of people who come here and hear me talk and to show you slides and everybody nods head. I would rather wait patiently until we have real interaction, because when we have real interaction is when we have relationship. Otherwise, you know, this is the basic of education, is you show up and you're expecting some intelligent researcher or teacher or some subject matter expert, and I say my story, and then everybody nod head and everybody feels good or not feel good, and then we go our separate way. So for me, this is also a way to qualify our relationship with different organization and institution. Is, do you have a need for coherence or see a need for coherence? Which is, without getting all fancy, do you, when you're building a cooperative for alternative education, I would assume, you know, it's cooperation, that relationship is number one. Like, forget about whatever idea it is that you may have. Relationship and collaboration is number one. And if relationship and collaboration is number one, then human coherence is number one. And whatever your understanding of coherence is, maybe we can go through. I think there's like maybe, I don't know, like 10 people in the room, that maybe we give each one of us, introduce ourselves, and kind of like one sentence on what you think human coherence is and why do you think it's necessary for your alternative education co-op. AJ, you look like you're coming in, AJ. Bring it on.
Here we go.
Very good morning and good evening to you also. And good evening to all. Namaste, namaskar, Johar. So these are all salutation in the India in different languages. So the coherence lies with the initial statement that we love each other, and Coherence, that means this is the basic foundation of this whole universe. So when we respect coherence, whether it is human, whether it is animal, whether it's birds or coexistence, so it can't be possible with the coherence. So when we have a higher aim, then coherence is automatically comes when we discuss about these higher aims, continuing developing ourselves, the society, uh, or the interrelationship between the nine animals and everywhere, whether they are present here or maybe somewhere else.
Okay,
Yes.
it's perfect. Yeah.
The, Let me tell you frankly,
Yeah.
I have read Swami Vivekanand, and Swami Vivekanand has taught me, and maybe I have learned many things from him only. So when I have read all those Swami Vivekanand talks, I can relate everything as per my capability only. So whatever I am saying, it is not mine. It is already there in the world, in the universe. So I am just copying. I'm a copycat man.
You're just remembering, right?
But only,
Yes.
but only through you, through us, is where it can live. You know, you may copy the idea, but it can only live through our action.
Right. It's an embodiment.
Yes,
Right.
sure.
Right. So that's
So
great.
I am a firm believer that the real education, what I always share with my group also, the ideal of the education is only to make understand ourselves,
That's
and
right.
when we understand ourselves, automatically we understand each and everyone.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Thank
This
you.
is the ideal of education, and we can, with this society or maybe schooling, homeschooling, whatever we do. So it basically lead to the man making,
That's right.
understanding ourselves.
That's right.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
So
Okay.
thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for being the first. Who's next?
I can I can go next.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
Oh, okay.
I think I think for me, human coherence is like it's an antidote to fragmentation. I feel like uh, both first, like the fragmentation within, we can be we can be not knowing of our own selves. So I think as we know ourselves better, we form a more beautiful relationship with the world outside because our true nature is a state of bliss.
Yeah.
And so we start finding happiness with the world around us. So it's
Yes.
both how the inward journey kind of shapes the outward journey. That's how I would see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's on point. Micro and macro. I think that's a very well put viewpoint on coherence. Wonderful. Yeah. And I just want to let those who hasn't gone yet, there is no wrong in this. Only our collective answer, synergizing, synthesizing, is the right answer. So without all of us, it's only pieces of us. Okay, so don't feel like you may not know the answer or your answer is not the best. There is no right or best answer. Coherence is something, you know, I'm gonna give you the quick cheat sheet is you. Is your contribution, your purpose, your offering to this group. And if you're in this group, you speak that. And I guarantee you, we can transcribe it to one of the pillars of coherence. And it's all necessary. The only time where it's not necessary is when we're missing something because we're not contributing. Otherwise, in every collective, it's already there. So this is how we qualify your organization, is to say, do you not if you do you believe in coherence, but what coherence are you contributing to your community? So please continue.
Okay, hi. This is Cerebro Sundari. Sundari, people know me as Jerry. Okay, and yes, I have gone through your work, and from my understanding, what I feel, no, coherence is nothing but aligning myself with the coexistence which is whoever it is, or whatever it is, be it a nature, be it a tree, be it an animal, be it a human, with everybody, just I'm contributing something where we can align together and contribute something to the society to make the human better. Rather, like I would say, like no, let us rise, become a people of value rather than a people of success.
That's right.
So values remains compared to the success, because success comes goes, whether the project is becoming success or not, that's secondary. But from this cooperative society, what am I giving values to the next generation, are with the coexistence of the people here in and around the world? How am I aligning with all around the world, right? It's we when we call it as a world, it doesn't mean we are sticking to one culture, we are sticking to only our own culture, but at the same time, how my culture can align with your culture, how your inputs can align with my place. It's just like in one word, I can easily, in one sentence, I can say it's like now tuning. How when we are listening to radio, sometimes the point one, point not one, we may not be able to hear it better. So we align that point not one in the frequency as we hear the radio, okay, which is an old model of listening to everybody. So in the same pattern, we can align ourselves. This is what my understanding with the coherence. And before we align ourselves with others, I have to coherent in within me, because I have mind, body, soul. Everything is separate. My body thinks something, my soul thinks something, and my energy goes somewhere. So I have to be coherent within myself first. Only then I can get myself aligned with or being coherent with the coexistence. If I am not coherent within myself, then it is not possible. It would be difficult to coherent with the other person. It's like we value everybody, and no community is left, no child is left, and not even a grass is left here.
Right.
Somehow even the grass gives us the value. This is what my understanding about the human coherence, which after going through your work, and also what we have a set of formulations in our society, so this is what we reflect and we represent as well.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautifully said.
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I like the frequency.
So you can call me as Jerry
Yeah,
because my name is
lots of
not.
And what you're speaking of is alignment with the natural cycles. You know, if we transcend religion, culture, and all of the other things that make us who we are one human race. Aligning mind, body, spirit to that natural cycle, and that's what we're all feeling, and that's what we've are trying to here to showcase is the living field.
Yeah. How we
We
all.
cannot separate, right? We cannot separate anything. We everything is interdependent. We
Yeah,
Yes,
are not independent. We are interdependent within us and within outside the world.
that's right.
absolutely.
That's what I believe.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Thank
And
you. Thank you so much.
thank you. And I read here in the chat, D, you want to step up? Coherence when the mind, body, and spirit are aligned.
Yes.
So, D, you want to say some more on that, or?
Thank you, Jerry, for having that beautiful talk. And this is Ambika Shyamsundar from Coimbatore. Very soon, maybe we might be meeting somewhere in October. We are having a meeting, upcoming meeting in our place, Coimbatore, South India. So, about myself, like connecting with this human coherence, um, I actually share my knowledge, my experience, whatever I can help with parents and the teens and pre-teens. So that's where I come and I help them out like inside out approach. So
Mhm.
exactly what here we are talking about.
Yes.
Somewhere when we come with the society, like when the kids are um, coming up, like bringing, like when they are growing up, where I can find out like the inside out approach is somewhere missing for the children mainly.
Mm.
So that's where I bring those concepts and That's how they see on themselves. So asking small questions, so that how can they reflect on them. And even connecting with the parents, like usually when the parents, or however we are, whenever we are born, we usually reflect the things, or whatever we are upgrown in our society back. So these are the things where we reflect on, and towards our journey, when we um, what I believe is like, when we grow up towards, I am around 40s now. So now in the 40s, now I am understanding much more clearer, like what is the body, what is mind and soul. And these are the things which I miss, that um, present generate, like in my generation, I didn't get all these things in the school, which now I am like little jealous. Like now I could see this homeschooling and unschooling people are getting now itself. And as we all are here to bring that mind, soul, body, that kind of an education, and how to align ourselves and spreading out to, like, each and every human being worldwide. And if I am a part of it, I will be very happy and thank you, grateful for all of you here being here. So much.
Thank you for
Yes.
your testimony. Beautiful.
Thank you. Especially like all the small stuff that people forget. We talk about all the big memorable moments, but we don't talk about all the small little moments in presence. That is just as equally dynamic as all the big moments. And so yeah, I like the small thing. Anybody wants to go next? I see Rashi apologizing. No apology. I understand. But Rashi says, as per my coherence, is resonating with the universe as we are all part of a collective consciousness. We are not just body, but beyond it. So the purpose of education should be able to recognize and to be able to unite within and out. Very nice, Rashi. Like I said, there is no wrong answer, because if it's all of us and it's all we're doing is aligning all of us, so the more we share those small little things to the big little things, then we know how to align. We know what our group is aligning to. It's not like right or wrong. It's about who is here and who is contributing to this coherence. What are we doing together? So I cannot go in there and say, "Oh, this is how it should be," because we've done so many different coherent programs, and no, we come to realize there is no right program. There is collective program, and the more collective you are as a group of organizers, alternative educator, then the easier it is for us to share that same coherent.
Right.
And that coherent is dynamic because you know all of it, from small to big, from left to right, from 001 frequency. So you could just all tune in to just that, and then boom, it just happens.
Right.
So,
And from personal experience, we realize that we've missed out on something, but we couldn't really pinpoint it as we were growing up. And now that we're older, what was it that was missing? And we go back and like, oh, that would have been so beautiful to experience, but now we can give it to our future generations and our children. And so this is the beautiful part of us coming together and understanding what was missing while we were in these schools.
I would like to add, as per my research,
yes.
in our Sanskrit text, there is a mention of Panchakoshas.
The kosher.
Panchakoshas, it actually relates to coherence only. So I think we can research on that also. There are Panchakoshas: physical body, energy body, mental body, intellectual body, and bliss body. So there are Sanskrit words on that. I am not good in that, but I have just read somewhere. I think this is also worth researching uh, what our Sanskrit text had written about coherence.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, the koshas are top level, and
Thank
like
you.
you said, at the end of this, understanding a lot of your cultural background and a lot of your spiritual context, it's all there. It's just nowadays when you bring it out, then when they hear the kosha, they think, oh, religious or religion or faith based, and it creates a little bit of friction. So we use the word coherence and use it in a way so that way leaders of the world can follow it. But we're all saying the same thing. It's just potato, potato, tomato, tomatoes. It's just, so how do we get there? But you're absolutely correct, Sunil, which is we need to go back to those texts and see how we can translate those texts to modern coherence understanding. And so that way, the science can back it up, the academics can back it up, and also the global leaders will be able to use it. Otherwise, profound, profound. And how long do I have? Because I do have a 15-slide presentation that I do want to plant some seed. But like I said, to me, hearing your team and what you guys believe, and if you don't believe it, it's also okay too. Like, it's okay to say, I don't know enough about coherence. I know about spirituality or faith-based understanding. Is that coherence? Because a lot of times, like I said, coherence deals with humanity's senses. It deals with perceptual. And nowadays we live in a world of language where we put everything on concept. And a lot of time when we put everything on concept is that we keep chasing these high ideas. So AI is becoming that. AI is conceptual. It takes all of our knowledge and it brings the highest of humanity and it throws it up there. And of course, no one's going to disagree. No one disagrees some of the best teaching from the sages, from wisdom, but it's so hard to do it. It's so hard to embody it. It's so hard to connect to it. So we talk about it. We project these great ideas of what spirituality, wisdom, and all these different philosophy, but humanity has not evolved. And we've gotten better with our technology and our tools, but now our tool is encroaching human consciousness when it comes to conceptual. But when it comes to perceptual, which is how do we connect to it, it does not know. And how does it not know? It's not that it doesn't know the concept. It knows the concept, but it doesn't know where, when, who.
It doesn't have the senses.
Right, to be able to connect to us. So that's where we are still a more powerful intelligence because we know all those connections. Oh yeah, thank you for sharing all the kosha down here too. Wonderful. That's great for us to look in and reference with you. Bali is also Hindu, and so we understand a lot of the kosha that you share from the Veda and Sanskrit. So anybody else?
Last calls.
Sorry, I cannot start the video. I am actually outside.
Okay, hi, Veda.
Hello. So it's good to see that the people are actually talking about the consciousness and the koshas and all those. So basically, just to give you a background, I am from the AI background. Like I work as an AI scientist in Dubai and India for like 10 years, and now last 3 years I have been into this conscious parenting journey and trying to understand what are the different aspects about the healing mechanism. And one thing I realize very well about the children is we don't actually have to parent them, we have to unparent ourselves, because we are the ones who are carrying all the logical minds, all the aspects from the ours. Like we have been taught a lot in terms of like how the things should be done. For example, if someone is arguing about something, we always basically look for the external validation, or either we basically try to keep that baggage in our heart. But children are the ones who always taught us that the forgiveness, what is the meaning of letting it go, and how exactly. And they are like clean slate, like basically 0 to 7 year kids are their subconscious mind is a clean slate. And we are the one, we have to put conscious efforts to basically train our mind, train our subconscious mind, so that we can understand how the particular thing can be done in a particular way.
Yes.
So that is like biggest learning that any parents have.
Right. Wow. It's great to have an AI personnel in here, because this is why coherence has become a very popularized focus right now. Is because the encroachment of AI pushing our consciousness to a level where we're beginning to question ourselves if intelligence is based on logic and literal and conceptual, then we cannot compare it to AI. Does that mean we should be afraid of AI? Does that mean, like the movie Matrix, or we are just batteries to what they want to do, and the whole singularity concept going to happen in the future? So I'm glad you're in here, because you can confirm a lot of the work that we're doing, and how is it in check and balance with AI and AI academic research and AI development. So thank you so much, Reda, and I'm happy that you have children now, because you're on a completely different journey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? I would love to have someone who don't agree with coherent, because that's also coherence as well. You know, that's also a part of our understanding of coherency, is where do we find coherence, you know, being more a disconnect to education than a benefit to education. Because there's a lot of people that I know that we're here in Silicon Valley, and coherence is easily understood, but when we move into spirituality or those kind of talk, it just gets ignored. And to us, one come from an ancient culture where science and academia was not as important as indigenous science. And indigenous science says, we've been living for tens of thousands of years. We have our own science. You know, it's just not based on the science of modern science. But it doesn't mean that we have not survived all this time without it. So, yeah.
Regarding disconnect, you asked about disconnect with the in the present system. If we see in terms of five koshas, panch koshas, they are all are disconnected,
Yes.
because we don't give sufficient time for the, you know, there is a body clock, there is a mind clock, but without giving sufficient time for that, it present education system is actually in conflict with that.
Right.
Because that uh, these are not considered in terms of curriculum, and also terms of time, you know, time and resources allocation for developing this panchakoshas.
Right.
This is my view.
Yeah, no, you know, I think that all the kosher are wonderful because deal with the physical body. It talks about food and nutrition. It talks about life force and energy. It talks about the mind. It talks about the intellect and the wisdom. Even, you know, down to Ananda Maya kosher, which is talking about the bliss and things that are associated with deep joy, for example. I mean, all these, I think, are dynamic in the sense that it's all interrelated. But you see, the moment that we talked about, the moment that you bring up a certain idea, then everybody say they have different ideas. But if you bring up the basic word, you're talking about bliss, you're talking about mental, you're talking about life force, you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about energy, everyone can relate. And that's the difference about coherences. It moves away from the ideology, the source ideology, which allow us to have differences. But if we move into the coherent language, then we're only speaking at the human connection, the human experience. And no one will debate with that. No one can say, oh, your joy is less than my joy, or or your life force is weaker than my life force, because we know that it's all different. But if you move into the kosha or reference certain philosophical ideology, then all of a sudden you say, well, my ideology is better because these are more indoctrination. So these are things that when we're identifying these, let's look at the human experience rather than look at the philosophical or the ideology of where they come from, because it may create separation. Maybe can we quickly go through where you're at in India, or you guys all cover most of India? I know that this is one of the initiatives that is statewide in India. Can you give me a little background about that, Mrs. Sunil, or anyone?
We are all from all parts of India, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
covering all.
Yeah, you told me that you cover most of the states of India, that you're building these co-op. So I'm very excited to hear that. Is there one central area of India that is more prominent in this movement?
I think Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu.
Okay. All right, great.
Tamil
So,
Nadu and north, yeah,
in
North
northern,
India also.
in North
May
India.
I add
Different.
may I add something to it?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the purpose of, for me, the purpose of education is just if it meets two expectations for any human being. One is to become a great person as in character, as a holistic development which we talk about. And second is that person should be able to earn their life, sustainable livelihoods throughout their
Yes.
whatsoever
Agreed.
span they are in
Agreed.
this world. And these two purposes are worldwide relevant because I feel that world is one. We are all in one universe. No men are foreign, as one of the poem of John Kirkup says, that no men are foreign. We have these all boundaries drawn across the world. But if we talk about human approach, the coherence which we are talking about, it's all about physical, social, and psychological, which covers human whole, the body, the soul, and their coherence with the community which we are living in across the world, irrespective of caste, creed, culture, religion, anything. But in the, what's the crux? The crux is we all are humans, we all have emotions, we all have that interconnection, the imagination that has to be brought into the community where we are losing upon our values, culture, the system, the institutions. Everything is on the verge of collapse in the age of artificial intelligence. If we, as humans, if we are not able to bridge this with the information flow and the human connection, which we talk about imagination, which we talk about interconnection, which we talk about those creative and logical skills. If you are not able to build that across world, I am talking about, I'm not majorly concentrating on India itself, but if coming back to our country as a whole, we all boost our youth dividend. We have a youth population all across. But are we doing justice to that youth population? Are we addressing their problems, their issues which they are facing as social challenges. See, education has a lot many problems, the education whole education system. That's why who can afford, they are looking for foreign universities, they have the options. But what about the 90% of the Indian population? Aren't they, are, don't they have the right to access, to become aware, to have that affordability and accessibility in terms of education? Because all paths lead from education. They will grow if they are educated, not only literate. As per the constitution, literacy rate is rising. But can we say that education, people are getting right kind of education which we are talking about? So
Right.
the purpose of this whole co-op is community led education, which addresses the challenges of education system as a whole, driven by the cooperative, because it will be driven by the people of India. We need to democratize this education system. We are the biggest democracy in the world with more than 1.4 billion population. But have we democratized it? No, not at all. It is again a monopolistic market. Those who can afford, people are being exploited. Parents, children, children are feeling stressed just because of exam pressures. But I have few questions which should be asked from everybody, every parent, every educator, that does attendance only suffice this purpose? Child going to school will make them holistic? We are not inculcating, imbibing the values, the uh, they are not becoming a good human being first. The purpose of education is to create holistic individuals first, then only they will contribute, they will, then only they will coherent themselves with the society. Because family makes society, society makes a country, and community, if we leave about community, if we they will, if the individuals are feeling left out, they don't want to be the part of the ecosystem, how we can grow as a country, grow as an economy, grow as a per capita income? These are the issues which needs to be challenged, asked, and people should come together. My purpose as a North India convener, my purpose to join this co-op, I had been doing it in my own capacity, in my own area, by counseling children, because I am a certified counselor as well as educator, trainer, and I have done certain things being a part of the corporate HR. So I understood that there are problems on LinkedIn, social media, and number of people you'll find talking about problem, cribbing about problems. But there has to be a solution driven approach to any problem. So this is an initiative. I never say that this is a movement. I am saying that this is a cooperative movement, initiative from the front of educators, parents, teachers, and I am requesting across India that please people should come together on a national platform to present it to government in a way so that they also acknowledge this thing and have the faith in the system, so that 90% of the population should not feel left out. Every child deserves quality education, holistic development, which cannot be given in few hands, in some monopolistic market approach people with a business driven profit making organizations. We don't support that. So this is national initiative. I don't know where will we head to, but with a collaborative approach to give everyone a national platform, they should understand what kind of exposure they will be getting. So thanks to everyone, and you should all have a great and happy life and blessed life. This is what I can say, and
Okay.
thank you so much for giving me time.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you for
your
everything
passion.
you said. Yes,
Yep.
very passionate, and this is why this is being created, for everything that you just said. It's time for us to come together.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so how
In
much?
In North India, people are not aware also. This homeschooling, unschooling, non-formal education, North India will take time to accept it.
Yeah.
For that acceptance, I'm trying to make awareness that education is not within the premises of any building. Education is everywhere. It's floating.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
Agreed.
Yeah, these are some wonderful feedback. So, like I said, beyond alternative education, because alternative education, we know the industrial age education, which is information, analysis, research, knowledge. Nowadays, the real question is, who am I here to become? Because we want outcome. Like Veda said, we want to be able to showcase that the children understand, the quality of who they are or they become, and of course, too, to be able to sustain themselves lifelong. So I think those two, no one is going to disagree with. How we get to that model may change because the current education model somewhat provide that kind of dynamic. So regenerative future, the things that we're looking at is 1, awareness, 2, collaboration, 3, creativity, 4, contribution, 5, leadership, and 6, regeneration. These are very important for a regenerative future. So then, why the current system struggle? And please, jump on in, raise your hand, or even interrupt me. I am great at interruption, so you won't lose my train of thought. I have no train of thought. I am always constantly in coherence, which is in flow. So why the current system struggle was the catch-22. I'm telling people you don't have to choose. When I say catch-22, you think, oh, it's either A or B. So should we stay inside the system and have opportunity and credential and social acceptance? Or should we leave the system and have freedom and human flourishing and flexibility? And with that comes the path of possibility. It's organic, it's personalized, it's purpose-driven, it's led by engagement and resilience and lifelong learning growth. Well, like I said, it's not bad against good. It doesn't matter when you have the human coherence bridge. You may have all the skills of the system and what it offers, and if you don't have the coherence, you're still going to be very low-level management or low-level worker. And vice versa. You can be free and you can be all this and you can have the whole human coherence, but if you're prejudiced against people that have opportunity or the system out there, you also left isolated. And I see that happen a lot, actually. And for me, it doesn't matter. If you have human coherence, you can be in both systems and be able to navigate through both systems and reap the benefit of both systems. Okay, so I just want to make sure that is clear. That is, coherent, transcend that. But what we're missing inside the current education model and the current sector, which is based on curriculum, methodology, and philosophy, we're missing the human coherence focus, which is the awareness, the emotional regulation, the relationship, the purpose, the contribution, the stewardship. So it doesn't matter what sector, whether it's health, leadership, education, technology, community, ecology, these are some of the big ones. Without awareness, present, and relationship, you will suffer. Even if you have the best curriculum, the best methodology, and operating off the best philosophy, you're still limited. And so we talked about when the roots are strong, every branch flourish. So human coherence is that root. And within that root, that invisible infrastructure, no one sees the root. No one talks about the tree and the roots. They talk about the tree, the leaves, the flower, everything else. They never talk about the roots. And the roots, this is where everything else flourish. So, contribution, purpose, relationship, emotional regulation, awareness, these all come from the roots that nobody wants to talk about. No one sees. And now, I don't want to make this another philosophy. I don't want to make human coherence another philosophy. This should be understood as one shared foundation. This should be understood as the foundation that it can flourish all. Montessori, which is nurturing independent, Waldorf, education of imagination, homeschool, which is family-led learning, mainstream, which is access, structure, and broad opportunity, accelerated learning, which is mastery and innovation. They all need coherence. So don't say that, coherence is one of these departments or one of these schools or one of these foundations. When we speak about coherence, especially within a co-op, it depending on what's the co-op. Is the co-op from the North India or South India? Or is it East or West? Or is the co-op focused on Waldorf or Montessori? Or is it a homeschool? Learning the coherence, you can integrate this into mainstream. So you cannot say it won't be accepted. It's not another ideology. It's not another philosophy. It is an embodied practice that we can integrate into all aspects of life. Think of it as like the operating system. It doesn't matter what apps you use. You're still using Windows or iOS or Linux. It doesn't matter. And no one cares about, but if you know about the different operating system, you know the importance of how it affects your work or what platform you're on. So to me, human coherence is about that. It connects to that at that level. And so now, human development in the age of AI, this is why more than ever we need coherence. Because AI amplify our capability. It allows us to see the possibility at the tip of our fingertip in instant. You can know what is really out there. What is the highest ideology, or not even the highest, but the multitude of ideologies that are out there. And it can define it into whatever sector, demographic that you want. And so the information and the logic and the analysis and the knowledge, it's way better than 100 professors. You can go on if you're looking at information, logic, and analysis. But human coherence defines our future. Because why? It focuses on the wisdom, it focuses on the discernment, it focuses on the compassion, it connects to the creativity, purpose, and relationship. So with all these aspects in mind, AI can show us where we can reach. But just because we know where we can reach doesn't mean that we know what direction we should take. And that's the same thing with even a lot of the philosophy of the sages, all the top divine teachings. They're great. They're the highest. No one doubt. No one will argue. But if you're not connected to your own micro, when we talk about, I think AJ talked about our personal connection, I think all you spoke about it. If we don't connect there, then we'll never reach to the extent of AI's reach, or divinity, or God, or sages. So to us, this is why we love the co-op that you're building, because it's not about the whole of India. It's about the different co-op within India that makes the whole of India. And so by having a coherence operating system, then we can allow people to connect to their own level of understanding of coherence. And some may want to use the kosha and have no problem with the kosha. But to us, if we want to bridge into the modern world or education world that we have right now, then using coherence language is a lot easier for their academia and their leaders to be able to connect with us. And we want to do that. We are no longer us against them, but we are all of it supporting everyone. And that's what makes us dynamic. So, together we create a future where technology serves humanity and humanity regenerates the world. Besides working at Human Coherence, at the school and alternative education, we are working in wellness, we're working in AI development, we're looking at sovereign AI platforms so you can have within your own cooperative. So you can have your own AI within your own knowledge base, so that way your co-op can sustain its own knowledge environment without having to be effective or being diluted or being guardrailed by anybody but your own cooperative. So these are the level that we're working at with coherence and AI. So then you must understand your community. This is very important. Who are our family? What motivates them? What are their challenge? What are their aspirations? And key community insight to what matter most? What do they really need? What are safety, purpose, and community holistic development, which is what they value? And then what do they envision? Because like I said, different co-op have different envision. You can't say one size fit all. Especially, this is the problem of modern education. It's not what they did is wrong and the system that they did is wrong and all this dynamic, but their ability to not be sensitive to everyone. And they are sensitive what's the most important to the nation, to what makes our country the most money, the highest idea to compete in the global marketplace. So it's doing its job. But it's forgetting about all the children, all the other, families, and it doesn't matter at what cost. And I think this is how maybe not only a co-op helps us, but maybe our co-op can extend ourselves to helping their education system, to create a balance for them. It's not so much us against them. It's us for all of us. And many voices and one shared future is our goal. So please jump in, okay?
Yeah, I agree with this because even our cooperative society also, we say call it as education without judgment, where we don't judge any other system which is prevailing. We respect everything, and how am I going to put my thoughts and getting aligned with their thoughts, and how no child is being left or the no community is left. So through education, yeah, we are providing education, but it is a non-judgmental education.
That's right. Yeah, and this is where coherence
And
work.
yes, and when I take so because this koshas have come, I do take some sessions on that. So to people, so many religion, everybody. So to them, I say, whoever believes in God, you take the term as God. Whoever believes in universe, take the term as universe.
Right.
So the same way we are aligning with this coherence.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I see your smile and your nodding head, so I'm happy. It keeps me in the flow of things. And then, so now we move into, it's also important to focus not on the who are cooperative, but what parent archetypes are within our co-op. Because that changes the dynamic quick. At the end of the day, we say it's for the children, but technically, most of this stuff is the parents. They want their kids to be fast track. They want their kids to be more nurturing. They want their kids to have peace. And they want, make sure that the children are secure in job. You need to define this. And in our process, we take you through these process through coherent process. So then that way you know how to connect to the different type of archetype, the different type of community in a coherent application, in a coherent embodiment, actually. And so this understanding of how we can flourish together is everything. And I tell you, a lot of time, it is just mainly a process. Rasti, you raise your hand, please. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a time to take a drink of water. Rasti, you're on, please.
Yeah, thank you, Hai Dai. So I'm just listening to everyone. And so far we are talking about coherence. What is coherence? So while listening to this conversation, the one thing that comes in my mind is that how to attain that coherence. What are the steps that we can do as an
Okay.
individual, at a community level, or at
Right.
a broader level? Maybe we are doing something or the other thing in silos. But is there a framework which can help us understand that where we are deviating from coherence, how we can be part of that coherent circle? So that is what I would like to understand next.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That was like the drum roll to my next slide. Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm going to start talking about the different pilot program because these first two, understanding your community, understanding the parent archetype, what matter most, family first, meaningful education, well-being, community connection, future purpose. What are your commitment to your co-op? Don't look at it as the whole. Just look at who's in the room. What parents are here? Because if you're not here, then you must agree with those who are here and sharing. That's why being present with coherence is everything. And so from there, we have like different pilot program that we initiate you with. So one is the parent identity. The parent identity is the most important because it helps us map out your community. It helps us understand who's connected, what is your aspiration, what are your fears, what are your motivations.